nobody knows who built Bitcoin because the people who are in charge of it, they didn't build it. Someone built it, and someone built it for money. And it is a collection of people that may have had some names that people might recognize, but it's not all people that people would recognize. And it was hijacked. This is the message that people have to understand. It doesn't matter who created Bitcoin. It was hijacked. Very early on, the idea of a world currency, as people will go back to the Economist magazine that was out, I think, in 1987, where it talked about, it may have been a little earlier than that, but it talked about the goal of the elites in the world was to create a one world currency. And I think it was like, had like the Phoenix on it or something. It was, people can look up that cover. And they saw this as their opportunity to be able to seize on that and do this. And I really wish, if people are thinking I'm crazy right now, I really wish they would just look. Like, let's take a step back here for a second. Let's say, wait a second. What was the biggest argument in the history of Bitcoin? Other than, I guess, who's Satoshi? We all argue about that. But the biggest argument in the history of Bitcoin was the battle of the blocks. Do we want big blocks? Do we want small blocks? Do we want faster transactions to be able to compete with the real world of crypto? Or do we want smaller blocks to keep doing the same thing and make it slow, but the clunkiness is why people like it? That's retarded. Like, that's stupid. That doesn't make any sense. Why would you not want it to be faster? Because it was not going to be able to fulfill Satoshi's vision. And I hate that the term Satoshi's vision was hijacked by Craig Wright himself. But that really is true. When you look at Satoshi's vision for Bitcoin, what was Bitcoin supposed to be? Peer-to-peer electronic cash. Is that the way that anybody uses Bitcoin? No. Nobody. Yeah, the Bitcoiners, they send it to themselves to pat themselves on the back and say, see, this is how it works. No, nobody uses it like that. When you look at the beginning of Bitcoin, you look at what it was supposed to be, and you look at what it is, it was clearly hijacked. And the idea was to get people ready for a tokenized world and a tokenized economy. And this way, guys, how stupid were we? We're like, bank the unbanked. Let's take the last people in the world who are holding out from this awful financial system that we've been chained to, and let's bring them into it. Yes. Like, that's crazy. And that's what we all did. It's like we all ran around saying, bank the unbanked. And now all of their assets and all of our assets are going to be digitized. And they're going to be tied to our digital IDs that are coming on blockchain. And the government will, in real time, know everything you have all the time. CBDCs are coming. There's nothing you can do about it.
Today's sponsor is PepeMeme, and I'm going to give you the introduction for the project. So recently, Elon Musk has replied to one of their posts on X, and that has actually positioned the project on the highlights. So a lot of people are paying attention to this project. Well, it's still on press sale stage, so you can actually purchase the tokens right now on press sale. Have in mind, there's always a chance that projects like this will make 1000x or even 100x, but it's always a high risk investment, so always do your own research. So this is how you actually purchase PepeMeme. I'm gonna drop the links on the description, but you actually have to go to their website, connect MetaMask wallet, and then let's say you're gonna buy 1000 USDT, you just tap buy now, and that's going to generate a QR code after you connected the wallet where you can actually purchase the tokens, and that's how you do it. You also have some relevant people who are following the project. One of them is Jeff Bezos. Elon Musk has actually replied to the post, as I said before, and also articles were published in magazines like Forbes, Business Insider, and more, so you can check the articles on the website as well. Always remember, don't take high risk with your XRPs, and now let's get back to the video.
The thing is there are options for how it looks. We need to fight for certain things, certain areas of privacy, or some kind of stuff where maybe you can have private transactions, whatever. We need to fight for that stuff because CBDC is coming, and I believe Donald Trump is going to give it to us. Donald Trump is going to be the one that gives a CBDC because he said he's not, right? He said, no, I'm not going to do it. I'd never do that. I love Donald Trump. So that I'm not saying that he thinks right now that he's lying to you. Donald Trump thinks he was being honest when he told you that he's not going to give you a CBDC. But here's the thing, and this is why I think it is set up for Donald Trump probably to win this time. Do you think Republicans are going to take a CBDC from Kamala Harris? Nope. Not a chance. Not a chance. Especially people who live where I live down here in the South. Not a chance. No way. I mean, we cling to our rights here, and we don't like when stuff is taken from us, and we're, Second Amendment people down here. So, when you look at Donald Trump, what's going to happen is BRICS Pay is going to be so successful, and it's going to be on blockchain. It's going to start catching up to the dollar, and people are going to start having conversations. We already basically lost the petrodollar, our agreement with Saudi Arabia since the 70s for oil for the dollar. That's gone. Still, most oil sales are done in US dollars, but that is changing over time. This BRICS pay was just really announced and premiered here at their BRICS conference in Kazan, Russia last week. The thing is that it's going to be successful. It's a basket of currencies from all these BRICS countries. All these BRICS countries are growing in emerging countries. And by the way, a lot of the reports we're reading in the United States about how these countries are doing, they're freaking lies. They're underreporting their GDPs and overreporting our GDPs. The spread between how successful these countries are doing in the United States and the West is much bigger than anything we're reading. It's all propaganda. And so the point is as this currency starts doing well, you're going to see people in the United States panic and say, if we don't have a currency on blockchain like BRICS Pay, we're going to lose the world reserve currency and we're not going to be able to compete. This will probably be an election cycle 4 years from now, or, who knows, 2 years from now with the midterms possibly. And look, Donald Trump's going to have to come out and say, man, I tell you, I told you I wasn't going to do this, but man, 70% of y'all are saying you want it. You're begging me for it. And he's going to do it. And that's a much easier way to trick everybody and slide in a CBDC. And the people that make those decisions are way above Donald Trump. So he will do like every politician does pretty much. He will do as he's told. He just has to be told a few more times than most people.